Hello students, let's begin today's lesson from 6th standard History. First chapter, what, where, how and when. Before starting this lesson, let me tell you what is history and why we should study history. History is a chronological account of events as they took place in the past. So why we should study history? We should study history as it tells us about the past. It gives us the understanding about our ancient culture and the lifestyle. It helps us to solve the problems of the present day world. How the time frames in the history. The historians used chronological sequence for the better understanding. Birth of Jesus Christ has been taken as a 0 year. So any event before the Christ is called the before Christ, that is BC, and any event after the birth of the Jesus Christ, that is Anno Domini, that is called AD. Timeline of history is divided into 3 stages, and these 3 stages are prehistory, then pro-history and history. In those times, if you want to know about where do the people live, the people lived near the river valleys. This is because, why the people were living near the river valley means, this is because of the rivers provide water for all the purposes. So many people were living near the river valleys. The traces of the life were found near the Suleiman and Kirtar hills in the northwest. Suleiman and the Kirtar hills in the northwest. Traces of life even existed along the Ganga river, and Mahajanapadas like Magadha, Kashi, Vajji and etc. were flourished 2500 years ago. The Himalayan mountain has acted as a natural barrier between the India and the Central Asia since ages. Now let us know about how was the name India derived. Our country is called India, Bharat. Bharat was derived by the people of the North India in the Sanskrit composition Rigveda. The word Indus traces its roots from the river Indus, which is called Sindhu in Sanskrit. How do we know about the past? We know about the past by archaeologists and by historians. The study of archaeologists and historians. Archaeologists and the historians study the several sources and they tell us about the past. There are 2 main sources, that is archaeologists and literacy. Now first let us know about what is archaeology. Archaeology is the study of the human history and prehistory through the excavation of the sites and the analysis of the physical remains. These archaeologists look for the bones of animals, birds, fish, and they find out what people ate in the past, and the plant remains survive for far more rarely. If seeds of the grain or the pieces of the wood have been burnt, they survive in that charred form. Archaeologists use the source of these monuments, then artifacts and inscription and coins. Handwritten or any other written records of the past is known as literary source. Literary means here literacy. It relates to the handwritten or any written records. So literacy sources include 2 types of literature: religious literature and secular literature. We studied sources of history. So why we should study the sources of history? There were 2 groups of the people who studied history. One was called archaeologists and the other group was called historians. Archaeologists studied remains of the buildings made of stones, bricks, paintings and sculptures. And the other group called historians were the people who studied the past and used information found in the inscriptions, seals and scripts. This is what there in your this lesson, what, where, how and when.